Look who's back with us, Texas Congressman Michael Burgess. Congressman, we always love having you on. More and more Americans are putting stickers right next to the gas price on gas pumps showing President Biden saying, quote, "I did that." What's your reaction to that?
Oh, my reaction is he sure did. And last Friday, I paid over $4 a gallon in Texas, for crying out loud. In Texas, over $4 a gallon. We haven't seen prices like that in well over 10 years.
You know, your reaction to Senator Manchin saying to the White House, stop with the finger pointing over high oil and gas, get it done. But then, Congressman, we have former Senator Heidi Heitkamp blaming Americans, saying it's for the criticism of President Biden, saying, Americans, it's your fault for all the criticism because you got used to cheap gas. Let's watch this. Watch.
The administration has been pointing to 9,000 onshore drilling permits that have already been issued for federal leases that have not yet been drilled. What I'm told is that while this number is a little bit higher than normal, it's not extremely out of the ordinary. And there is no guarantee that conditions will be right in the market or in the ground to drill with a given permit. But industry also needs signals from the administration that they will support oil and gas development and production. The first immediate action item is to increase our domestic oil and gas production on both federal and non-federal lands. Stop pointing fingers, take action, and just get it done.
When you do inflation adjustment, this isn't the highest price we've had in the last 20 years. During the George Bush administration, we had gas prices inflation adjusted over $5. But we're shocked because we got used to $2 gas.
Yep. What's wrong with getting used to $2 gas?
It's what it's supposed to cost, at least in Texas. I don't know about her state. But look, one bright spot, Senator Manchin today told the Biden administration that one of their nominees for the Fed was unacceptable because she has a history of blocking financing for traditional energy exploration. And I think that that was a big step, and I think that will send a strong signal to some of these folks who are wondering whether or not the administration is really behind them. If they can get financing for their project, you don't want to start into a project like that and then find you can't get the capital.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Access to capital is extremely important.
That's right.
And blocking Sarah Raskin, I think, was critical.
Yeah, she wants to defund and debank U.S. Energy. And she's going to be at the Federal Reserve, which has a dual mandate of keeping inflation and keeping prices low and then doing maximum employment. So right off the bat, she's violating both of the Federal Reserve's dual mandates, sir.
Yeah, makes no sense. And it was clearly a political nomination. And again, I think the Biden administration could send a signal that, hey, we're awake now. We get it. We're withdrawing this nomination.
You know, Senator Manchin is saying the White House needs a new 5-year plan for the Gulf of Mexico. The current plan expires at the end of June. The White House not appealing a judge's ruling that vacated that lease sale. A lot of oil there. This just happened days after Russia invaded Ukraine. It means we're almost certainly looking at no offshore lease sales until sometime next year. Nothing about the failure to hold onshore sales as well.
Yeah, critical mistake. And this stuff requires a significant amount of planning. You don't just drop a deepwater rig next week. It requires significant planning, significant regulatory requirements that have to be met. Don't we remember the experience with the Deepwater Horizon? You want things to be done correctly. You want them to be done safely. And it is going to take time.
This question, too, President Biden, the White House press secretary, others all claim that Biden's executive orders have caused no impact on oil production. Okay, if that's true, what's the harm in just reversing those orders? Why not just reverse them and see what happens, right?
Again, it would be a powerful signal to the people who are in the business of producing energy that, again, we've woken up in the White House. We get it. We made a mistake, and we're going in a different direction. I don't believe that's going to happen, but it would be a wonderful headline to see tomorrow.
Yeah, we hear you. You'd be right front and center with me talking about it. Okay, let's take a listen to this laid-off Keystone Pipeline worker with his take on the White House hammering away about oil companies. They can drill on the 9,000 leases they have. By the way, that's just about a quarter of the active leases out there. Let's listen to this.
Jen Psaki was at the podium. She said there's 9,000 permits that's already been granted. She said if people want to pump, companies want to pump, they can go ahead and do it. that these permits aren't the problem here. What would you say to Jen Psaki?
She's lying to the American people. Those 9,000 permits that were pulled, they might not even have oil under the ground that they got the permit for. So why would the oil company go and drill on that ground? There may not even be oil there, and let alone waste their damn money because they can't run a pipeline to transport the oil and gas off the well.
If there was oil there, the gas companies would already be drilling it and they would already be producing it. It's a lie.
Okay, and then you have the Washington Post columnist Jennifer Rubin saying voters are stupid on gas prices. Okay, how about Jennifer Rubin, Senator Heitkamp, all those elitist Democrats, go listen and talk to those workers.
Yeah, at $100 barrel oil, I don't think for a minute that they wouldn't be out there producing if they could produce. And the other point about pipelines is spot on. All kinds of energy produced in the Permian Basin that is trapped, stranded. You can't get it to the market because there's not the infrastructure there to do it. If you could get that gas to the Houston and San Antonio and Dallas and to liquefied natural gas terminals, that'd be a great day.
Got it. Congressman Burgess, great to have you on. It's good to see you. Come back soon. Thanks for spending time with us.